Aquarius, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your September forecast. And I know I said I wasn't going to do one, but I have to because Spirit is asking me to do one, and so I'm going to. So, Venus in your 7th house on the 6th of September. I have a special message to give all my Aquarians because there's something calling me to you, something super important. And I think it's because Venus goes into retrograde Venus goes out of retrograde and it goes direct in your 7th house. So for quite some time, you guys are going to be exploring what you need from relationships and what you need to be happy. So there's a need to justify others' behaviors, other people who support a codependent behavior. You are a leader. You make people follow you based on your strengths. And for some of you, that it's very enduring. You attract almost codependent relationship. You attract people who need you versus who love you. And that love versus need thing is very hard to identify because some people can identify love as need. And so for many of you, you're going to be dealing with it. So there is a definite need for you to have stability, for you to have simplicity, but you have this idealistic look of how you see family. And this is hard for Aquarians because Aquarians often look at everything idealistically, progressively, futuristically, and you don't see the situations always for what they are. They are suffering. They are pulling somebody along who is weighing you down. They are, and in turn, that makes you weigh down. And so, yes, for the most part, I think that you are the strength that others rely on, but you want the inevitable outcome, and when that doesn't happen, you idealize it. And so I think for some of you, you get frustrated and you get simplistic in the fact that you don't get what you want, and you sit there and you sulk in the fact that you have opportunity, but you won't take it because what you want you can't have because it's burdensome. And so I think that many of you hold back what you need to meet the idealistic want of what you want. So there's a weighing out of all of this. There's a balancing out of all this. There's a Libran approach to all of this. There's a North Node approach to all of this. And so many of you are struggling with ego, and I've talked a lot about this in my dailies, and if you don't follow my dailies, then that's okay. Then what you don't understand is that there's a need for your South Node predisposed wiring for you to get what you want, to try to mold people to get what you want idealistically, for you to reach the harvest that you want, the recognition that you want, the basic foundation of what you want. But what you're not understanding is that there are people that are taking advantage of the stability of you, of the gifts that you give, of your nature, of your warmth. And you know what? I know you're starting to understand it. You're starting to hold back. You're starting to understand that the people that are seeking you are actually taking advantage of you. So you're more guarded with the approach. And I think that you're categorizing everybody. You know, you look at a past relationship, this whole Venus in a retrograde thing, and you're taking a look at it and you're like, well, everybody treats, my last ex treated me that way, so everybody's going to treat me that way. But you have opportunities coming to you. They are actually physically and attainable in front of you, but you won't take them because you're bound to something from your past. You're bound to this heartbroken, wounded soul that you want to save from your past. And you feel like they know you and you know them, and it's very codependent, and it's very, you're not seeking the light, you're not seeking the balance, you're not seeking the upside of everything. You're thinking that recognition comes from suffering and from pain and from identifying yourself from that painful situation, and you're not allowing your cup to runneth over with opportunity because you see yourself as somebody who's always inflicted with this painful past. And I want to tell you that for the most part, there is something more. There's something genuine. There is something basic. There is something that is earthly. It's attainable. It's from a basic perspective. When Venus goes direct in Leo, you're going to be weighing all this out. You're going to have this idealistic view, this want that you have above want, this happy family, kids flourishing, loving union, but you're going to be bound to a shackle of this past, enduring, this person that if they understand your wounds, you understand their wounds. And then that pulls you back into, well, if something's going to grow, it's going to grow from pain, sweat, tears. It's going to grow from plight. It's going to grow from emotional turmoil. And then maybe you might get what you want, eventually flourishing. But there's something that you're holding. There's something that you're holding dear to you. It's a power. It's a control. It's a perseverance, but you're holding it back because this person doesn't actually deserve it because they're not secure enough. They're not mentally well enough to take it from you. Others see it. Others know that you're something special. Others know that there's something that is substantial about you and that you stand out. You guide others. You are something that people see as strength and as something to be valued and something to be admired. Others admire you based on your creativity, but you can't get that loving relationship to not be a burden, to not be something that you see as the potential that you see as you have this idealistic view and it could happen and you're discouraged. You're discouraged at this point and you're turning away from other opportunities because you're so focused on this particular opportunity paying off and you're holding back. So that's what I see from your love forecast part of it, and your 7th house. This is the house of others. So I see triumphance, but I see arrogance and determination and ego standing in the way of actually letting go of something you need to let go of so that you can have a new outlook, a new balance, a new perspective, and a new idealistic view. You are ego based in this issue. Your ego needs to die for this to really, really flourish. And so on the 12th, you have a new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. This is in your 8th house, and for you, this is in regeneration. So there has to be a death of the ego. So for you, you have to let go of the fact that some people just can't freaking help themselves, that they can't you know, you've got your own wounds, you've got your own stuff, you've had loss, you've had death, you've had stuff go on, and that you need to take care of you, and you can't bring somebody along your journey. They can be your friends, but they can't be your partner. And there's an emotional turmoil that goes along with that. There's a letting go of what you thought could flourish into something, and you know, you wanted it to be a union, and you wanted it to be a happy family, and you wanted it to be the end all. But I think for the most part, there is some form of denial in the fact that what is reality is based on fantasy, and you are going to be facing that, and that's very Neptunian, and that's in a lot of opposition this month. And so I would be very mindful of what you go through as far as ego based and a death to that. On the 17th, you have Mercury going into retrograde in Libra with Libra in your 9th house. For you, that means there's an expansiveness of thought. There's looking at your opportunities. There's trying to find balance in the fact that you have to let go of your past and seek new opportunity. Opportunity that is flourishing. It's right in front of you. You can have it if you want it, but you're not sure that you want to drink from that cup, essentially. There is also a need to be protective at this point. You've been through a lot. It's been quite the journey. The clouds are breaking ahead. You can see the light, but you don't know if you want to invest in it because there's still some pull to the past. There's still some pull to this significant situation. So you're going to be expanding your horizons in that area. You're going to be expanding how you feel about everything. Saturn goes into Sagittarius on the 17th, which is in your 11th house, which suggests to me that this is somebody that you considered a friend. This is somebody that you considered somebody significant in your life. This person has been in your life for quite some time. It's very hard to let go of this person. This is somebody that was connected to your youth, connected to your past, connected to somebody that you pulled along on your journey with you throughout your entire time. This is somebody that you never lost sight of. But there's always a storm brewing. There's always an instability in this person. And if you want that stable environment, if you want something to flourish, there's an anxiety in letting that person go and letting that person do its thing. And there's a sense of triumphant and ego and overcoming and saying that you're good enough and you're beautiful and that there's something special about you that can overcome all of these past issues. There's with friends, there's a certain set of acceptance that everybody else sees but this person. And so for you, when this goes into the 11th house, for these next couple years in Saturn, you're going to be letting go of these past pulls, and you're going to be defining yourself through the eyes of others, and you're going to be looking at a different perspective. And although you idealize this past, you're going to be seeing a new beginning, and that new beginning is coming. It's very, very forthcoming. And for you, that starts on the 12th, when you have this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo in your 8th house. It's about transforming what you idealize as a family. Is what you idealize as a family dysfunctional because based on your past based on your past wounds, based on what you grew up with, based on addiction, based on things that have something to do with your past. This is a lot about drinking and making you get along with their thought process on it. I see there's something having to do with addiction, something having to do with trying to get you on board, but you stand tall, you stand firm, you stand out, you're indifferent to it, and you see a future, a flourishing future, and you see overcoming past burdens. So this is all about progressing past all of this stuff. And that's the new beginning that you seek. And that's the new perspective that you seek. So on the 27th, you have a lunar eclipse in Aries in your 3rd house. So this is not about falling into what others say. Others tell you they're going to be with you, yet you seem to take on their burdens and your burden. And, you know, there is a light, but you won't go to it because you are too busy, distracted by their burden, distracted by what you carry on your back. You make excuses almost for what their issues are. I see that. There's a sense of seclusion with this lunar eclipse. So it's shedding light on all of this. It's taking a flashlight and it's illuminating the darkness in all of the situation. And you know what? Your cup, there's so many opportunities, but your cup can't runneth over because you keep taking a drink of the stormy, dark drink that person is giving you, and it's not good. You do hold back from this person. You do show them a certain amount of strength, but not actually the strength of your potential. There is something more, you know it, but you can't break free. And there's this need for your ego to break through all of this. But there's a need to show others that you can take on this challenge and that your ego can prevail. But at what? At the ego dying, at the ego at the expense of the other person, at the other person defining your ego. Like, you need to really feel that out. There is something exceptional, unique, extraordinary about you that you can shine and you can bring forth and you can start a new beginning. But that's very difficult with all of this past emphasis on this person that you, I think, deeply are attached to and love and idealize at this point. So for you, Jupiter for the next year is going to be working in your 8th house. So this is about transforming this very personalized area. This is about ego dying. This is about seeking some sort of pride and self-endurance in wanting more for yourself and seeing the potential outcome as a realistic outcome. Saturn for the next couple of years is going to be working in your 11th house. So this is not don't go with the flow, because you know what, you want popularity, you want social status, you want acceptance from your peers. It's very important to you as an Aquarian, but don't allow it to be the peers that you currently have. This is new perspectives. This is new outlooks. This is new. These people will support the new ego, support the new unique status that you are creating. They will make you, they can actually accept you for who you are and show you the new status that you want to create. This is letting go of the old friendships and shedding them and giving a rebirth to the new friendships and new communication and new acceptance and the new psychological processes and the new ways that your minds are going to go. This is letting go, literally letting go of the shackles of your past and seeking ego in progression. That is my September horoscope for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.